Hello, this is Brian from Bostech. I'm here in beautiful Georgia today with Charles Burnett from KEM. Today we were talking on a prior video about elevated oil levels and temperature, okay, and how that could affect different seals, gaskets, and components in your vehicle and end up leaving you on the side of the road at the worst possible time and costing you unnecessary money. And Charles is going to go over some of the things he sees day to day in his shop. Charles, what would you say is one of the most important things that you need to address when you talk about elevated oil temperature levels?
Well, all your seals in your injectors, your seals in your oil rail, and that type.
The oil rail, right.
In your oil rail, not everybody knows that up under here you have an O-ring. I mean, people that do it day to day know this, but most of the customers out there don't realize how the oil gets into the injector. They know it's a high pressure injector, driven injector, but it actually comes down through this little nipple with an O-ring on it.
Now, this O-ring you get from Bostech is an upgraded O-ring, Viton O-ring.
Correct.
It has a lot higher temperature tolerance.
But if you go to the OEs, you have to buy this whole oil rail.
It's non-serviceable.
It's non-serviceable.
Okay.
But I mean, with Bostech's tool, it's simple to replace. It lines everything up. You don't have to worry. Some of the other tools out there don't line up the nipple, so you try to get it back down on the injectors.
Yeah, and there's really no way to tighten that up. The spec on this is 75 foot-pounds.
Yeah.
There's no way you could do it unless you have a tool like this. And these are made out of solid steel here in the U.S. So I just want to bring that up because we were actually the ones that addressed this originally, and we've created basically a cottage industry, and that's great because our intention wasn't to sell these. Our intention was to not have people blame our injectors when they really weren't to blame.
Right.
Okay, so we just pointed that out. We made it open source to the diesel community because we want everybody to address it so that the customer knows if he spent just a little more to do this, he won't be facing this again. Because if you have a bad rail, it's going to keep taking injectors out until you address it.
Brian, could you go into more detail on the difference in your ball tube?
Yeah, that's another important thing. On the original, like on an 03, the overall height of this is identical. The diameters spec is identical. The difference that Ford Navistar came out with was they were noticing a lot of techs were ripping those seals going in because the neck is what's different. If you look at an 03 up against this, and this was put out by Ford in 05, okay? If you look at them side by side, you'll see this shoulder is actually lower on the later model than on the 03. This is actually shaved back 2 millimeters more. That's straight from Ford, okay? And so it makes and the reason it was done is to facilitate an easier install. That's entirely why it was done. This is exactly what you want. Otherwise, you're probably doing the job in vain.
Well, you're putting in a product that's been updated, and you're putting in an old product.
Right, exactly. You know, we want to kind of keep to the same philosophy about these videos. We want them to be informative and short. We don't want you to have to sit through an hour of information just to get the little piece that you need. So we appreciate having Charles's expertise. He's one of the leading shops in Georgia and probably the country for that matter. And so if you're anywhere in this area and you need somebody to install these parts, if you're not comfortable, this is the kind of shop you want to bring them to.